of a sudden, Chopper's like, yep, I'm just going to kill both of them. One I've just popped off the ladder. And
the look on his face, it almost like he felt like they did not deserve this round. Like, did I really win this clutch?
It went through his camera and he was just like,
I don't think they did either.
Let's not talk about that round. We won it, but we'll continue forward.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think we should.
So Big gets the CT side.
They do get the CT side, all right. Then you talked about it, the double AWP. I think we will see tabseN yield that from the catwalk position, being a little bit aggressive. That's going to be a good test for Spirit, because I do agree with you. I think that their mid-round on Dust 2, on their T side specifically, was extremely good. It was absolutely on point. You can see they figured out solutions and they were executing them well. Whereas Nuke was the polar opposite. They had no idea what to do, even if they were basically given a couple of aces in the hand. It was just like, I don't really know what to do.
I'm going to fold.
Yeah, just fold, that's it. So basically, Mirage should be closer to Dust 2, I believe.
Mirage will be closer to Dust 2. Well, Dust 2 went the way of Spirit, but can they close it out? Big versus Spirit, one final time, elimination match, and we're back with Dinko and Mitch. Which way do you guys think it's going to go?
Well, I think this one is likely to go in favor of Team Spirit, but I think Big definitely showed up in the second map. All the individuals were showing up. We had an overperformance from Nex. So if they can continue that and it's not just a one-time thing, Big could definitely do this.
I wouldn't rely on Nex top fragging here. I think we need to see Xantares take that late round or late game performance that he's been given so far and bring it all the way through the game. We need to see tabseN up there and Smooya returning to glory on the AWP. Look at where Spirit are taking things with a very spread out initial pistol, leaving the bomb in T-spawn. They've got plenty of time. They're just looking to skirmish at the moment and see what they can find.
Well, Chopper did poke a little bit in towards the A-bomb side to see what he could find off the back of it. What he did was a few shots towards Xantares' general position. Smooya takes one shot and decides to fall away. Instead, tabseN now moving forward in towards middle. Hasn't really spotted too much. Instead, sees Mir, throws the nade on through. That does a little bit of damage, only 4 HP. Nothing to write home about at this point. Mir spotted the player up in the window, but finally first blood is drawn. It's Magix and Idis Balance opening things up, with Magix finding another. And this guy had an incredible performance on Dust 2. If things are the way Maniac predicts, and it does turn out to be more like Dust 2, well, that's a scary sign for Big, because Magix was on another level. Bomb planted, Team Spirit enter the A-bomb site, and well, it's only on Smooya doing his best, but he cannot get anything done. It's going to be Team Spirit with the pistol pickup. Round 1 goes their way.
Well, that's a little bit disappointing for BIG, but hopefully they'll be able to get themselves bouncing back into it soon. With the amount of cash they've got rolling on their... oh, wow, okay, they've actually gone in for a forest buy. I was going to say, I'm assuming it's going to be an eco, but aggressive decisions early on, scout on Smooya, Deagle's coming out. This is a brave move. Now, fighting Spirit with these aggressive decisions, it can work out. You can see Spirit fully invest. They take 3 rifles, 2 SMGs. Those SMGs don't get as much a reward as they would had this been an eco. The opportunities are there for the CT side to pick this one up. With Spirit looking towards the B-bomb site with 2 players, Bomb shifted towards the B side of T-spawn, but still very much open in terms of the avenues of approach that Spirit have opened to them. Once they spot out that there's multiple players, they'll be able to move wherever they choose. Just taking the middle control slowly but surely, systematically using their scopes to claim the ranged advantage. You can see Idis Balance hoping that Xantares goes back down aggressively towards the bottom of Connector, and at this point they've heard Deagles rattling out, but that doesn't necessarily mean they know it's a forest buy just yet. I laughed at Dinko's mistake earlier on. The voice cracks. Naturally, he gets to laugh at mine.
Well,
Dingles. It's a dingle boy.
Alright, Mitch, you're one wild human being. But Team Spirit, they have got an AK in the hands of Mir. 2 SGs available for Samdai Young and Idis Balance. Mac 10's available as well. Mir's going to start making his way forward. AK in his hands, checking top column, but no one is there. Instead, Chopper swings by and heads towards the top of Connector. Smoke is up there to prevent the vision. Mir flash up, it's going to be tabseN ready for the push. She will manage 1 kill, but Idis Balance is quick on the trade, but Smooya even quicker. Headshot landing. Shot landed as well onto Magix. He's softening these opponents up for the pistols to do more, but Smooya still undealt with. He's still at the back of the bomb site, but finally swings too wide, and Magic's patience pays off. It's Tizian and Xantares looking to do as much as possible, but Samdai Young continues to frag. It's all on Xantares. He won a big clutch on Nuke. This one seems a little bit more difficult. No kit. He's got Deagle. They're both pretty low though, so within 1 shot range, and well, he cannot land it onto Samdai Young. Now with a scout picked up off the cold dead body of Smooya, and Xantares cannot do it. Samdai Young with a triple kill, 2-0 for Team Spirit.
So, right there, huge overextension coming through from Smooya with the scout. He's got 2 teammates behind him, but doesn't work with them. Instead, going out for the kill. He knew that he tagged up a player, but really wanted to get that finisher. With 2-0 on the board for Team Spirit, Big have no choice but to go for an eco, and this sets them up now to gain a little bit of momentum on the terrorist side, as well as building up the tiniest bit of cash. Enough damage was done in this round for Big that it's justified taking the force buy, but they were so close to bringing it across the line, and that is an understandable look of frustration coming through. But you don't want to see that kind of tilt coming in early on either. That could certainly hamper Big later on.
Flashing towards the middle, Ida's bounce is going to be overrun. Tizian with the initial pickup. Finds a couple more off the back of his SG, and well, survives on 1 HP somehow, so Tapson is left alone 1 versus 4. Inside the middle, might just finish off Mir, and he's done. So
and that's one of those situations we were talking about in the last map there. You're 1 HP, there's just no need. You've got a teammate supporting you on top mid, one coming through short, just stay behind there. If they nade you, they nade you, but going out for a peek, you're almost certainly going to die.
Tapson puts the bullet in the brim, but moving into this next one, round number 4, you've got the AWP in the hands of Smooya. You have the rifles in play as well. Finally, Big will have a chance to contest for a round win here on Mirage. It has not been an easy start to things, but they'll see what they can do. Here towards the underpass, Ida's bounce burning in the Molotov that was thrown deep by Big. This one comes in though to save Ida's bounce. He'll run away with 55 HP. Comes out worse for wear, but at least he comes out of it. Next, instead, assumes control deep in towards the apartments. Smooya, aggression in towards mid is the name of the game. He wants to try and prevent this run boost. Edging around the corner, he might just go for the top of his scope if they go quickly. And oh no, Smooya caught off guard. The timing just did not favor him at all. It's very difficult to deal with, especially on the AWP. And well, the utility being used up in towards middle, the smoke to the window, flash down in towards short. It's certainly looking good at the minute for Team Spirit. It's on to Big to make the play.
Take a look over towards Tapson. He's playing super passive in the window. As the smoke starts to fade, he goes in for a peek and sees that middle control doesn't go to Team Spirit. Now this is important for him. Player that's over towards the B bomb site next can feel at least a little bit more comfortable, and it prompts Tizian to nade down on the ramp. Unfortunately, not finding anything. Mur could have been killed by it, but it would have to be 10 seconds later. 34 seconds, Tizian in a very aggressive position. I don't think this is going to be expected with only 3 players left, but he's been spotted at this point, baited out by the shoulder peek, and quickly dealt with. Now a 2 versus 4, but the bomb's still not planted with 20 seconds. It could get a little bit risky with Nex's position. Unlikely, though. I imagine they're going to be checking this.
15 seconds. Pushing onto the side, finally getting the ball planted. Next doesn't swing wide, he doesn't commit to it. Big realize winning this round is going to be so difficult. And they take a look at their economy and probably see that saving the weapons is the most pragmatic approach. So they're going to bring the AWP into the next round. Next also carrying the M4A4 into the next as well. And Team Spirit will go 4-0 up. And this has been the start that they were looking for on Mirage. You know, you've just lost Nuke. You're coming into a map where you should be a little bit more comfortable. And they are delivering so far.
As the timer ticks over, it's 4. I hope Mur is far enough away. I think he is, yeah. Over towards the T-spawn, safe and sound. So 4 weapons carried forward for Team Spirit, but it's really Big's economy that you're going to be a little bit worried about. I wouldn't be surprised if a pause comes through to discuss how they want to distribute their cash. With 2 weapons in play, Smooya could certainly drop over some pistols. You can see Nex doing the same. Although there's also the possibility for Nex to buy an M4, there was, and then drop over to one of his teammates with some weaker weapons around them. You would still have a decent chance at the round, but they've decided instead that they want to keep it very light, not dedicate too much towards this. The Deagles still give them a fighting chance with the AWP and the M4, but this is most likely to be Spirit's round. Giving over a 5-0 lead isn't terrible, considering they'll be able to buy in the next. That's a very nice opening duel for Smooya to find, though.
Yeah, good aggression towards Palace. They have backup as well, so if Smooya was to fall, the turret potential was there from Big. And they need this advantage. They need this man advantage to play with due to the fact that, you know, coming into it, overall they have the weaker weapons. Spirit, there's no reply yet, no trade. Yeah, I'm going to start to relocate back in towards T-spawn. The majority of the troops are running. Chopra has called the forces to rally in towards the A-bomb site. Yeah, I've got 1 player over here already behind ticket box in the form of Tizian with an SG, which could certainly be the weapon to mow down multiple players. Also, Xantera is available to back him up just outside of the connector. 55 seconds, Team Spirit gathering. going to explode through Palace. And this position can be very difficult to deal with, especially in Tizian's position, because he's in a bit of a one and done. You know, if you can't get off that ticket and they swing with multiple players, this is a much better approach. Just dropping off using tickets. Antera spots the players coming out of Palace. Now Tizian has been called in the action. He manages 2 kills so far, but has a chance to get more. He stays alive at the back of the triple and heads on top of the trash can to reload.
Safely tucked away at the moment. Smoke goes down for Team Spirit. Bomb on the site. It can be retrieved safely enough by Sumdai Young. Pops a flash just to make sure. Actually not grabbing the bomb. Swinging out to try and force a frag. As tabseN was just tucked away off the angle. With 13 seconds left and the bomb left on the site, I don't think this is going to be a win for Spirit. And they don't either. They've conceded it, and this will allow Big to run forward and pick up some weapons. With the 2 deagles they've got in hand, there's 2 weapons to be retrieved.
Yep, good stuff from Big. They finally post one on the board. 4-1. Team Spirit, you know, they didn't quite get the round that they wanted there, but it doesn't really matter. They've had money since the beginning, so they're going to buy again. I mean,
it's good for Spirit that they're able to buy, but look what they've just granted Big. Even after investing fully into utility, the CT side has got a lot of cash left over because they didn't have to buy any rifles in that previous round. They saved 2 over into that round, and then they carried forward and 2 AKs and a Krieg off the corpses of Spirit. That's a really negative equity situation because Big now are boosted to the point that if they lose this round, they invest straight away and it's no problem. A huge obstacle for Spirit to overcome, having to win 2 buys in a round before getting a bonus. Take a look at the push now. You're moving towards the B bomb site, leaving the bomb. It looked for a second like iDisbalance would be picking it up, but he's actually playing more passive towards the top of middle.
Yeah, this is just a standard default coming in from Team Spirit. You know, wanting to take that mid control is going to be the main goal. Once you obviously finish the default, you've got all the areas of the map you possibly can. That's when you make the mid run. So Chopper is the man in towards the underpass, looking to put a little bit of pressure perhaps in towards the connector eventually. Spamming through the pre-fire angle, the window smoke fades, and so they re-smoke it up. Chopper can now put a little bit more pressure in towards Con, leaning in here. Also has the backup of iDisbalance, who's pushing out through short. Start to check the close box and over the top. Smoke will fade. The top Con smoke comes through from Chopper. And that is a pretty successful mid-take from Team Spirit. Now they can decide where they want to go off the back of this. The bomb has been picked up, and they're heading in towards B. tabseN will be the first man to draw blood, but Mir is again there to trade it back.
They had to use a Molotov because they're out of smokes, with the exception of Sumdai Young, but the players in middle didn't have smokes, so Molly used the smoke to try and cross over on short. They lose 1 player, but traded back, now moving into the side itself. Nexus isolated, the teammates on the way, but he doesn't even need them. 2 kills on the board as Mur falls. It's iDisbalance in a 1v4, and he can't get anything done. Big pick up another round and secure even more fiscal security, as only 1 player has to reinvest. That's tabseN. Team Spirit, on the other hand, they're a little bit all over the place when it comes to this economy. A full buy on every player is not possible.
In Team Spirit go through the motions, right? They take that mid-control that they want, they regather the bomb and head in towards B, but it's the fact that they're not winning any aim duels. No one from B presented themselves early in the round, so you're still going into a 5v5. Eventually a duel went down in towards middle, it was a 1-for-1. And Team Spirit didn't win any of the aim fights as they tried to head in towards the B bomb site. So big performance from Nex. He managed to pick up 3 kills in that round. So certainly looking good for Big at the minute as Nex continues to frag. Perhaps it's not just a one and done on Nuke, as Antares this time needs to deliver the underpass push coming through. iDisbalance takes quite a bit of damage on board, but eventually has to fall away. Magix cracks one open with his deagle, but a 4v4 still ensues.
Spirit back off of middle. tabseN's happy to reclaim that control, moving on up. Clearing out the fact that they're not towards the top of mid. Now they're starting to suspect that we could be seeing a B hit. Nothing spotted on short either, obviously, after tabseN pushing up, so they know that's clear, leaving Nex to just watch 1 angle. The only issue for him is that he's got 20 HP. Now with the player spotted on Palace, this could catch Nex off guard. He grabs 1, should be dead to rights at this point. He's so low and very quickly taken down through the bench. Bomb can be retrieved, put down on the site. Nobody's in position on Big to take them down, but with the position tabseN has been claiming for the last 30 seconds, he's right up behind them. Coming in through the apartments as iDisbalance goes to make a play of his own in through the smoke and kitchen. Xantara's in a little bit of danger, checks it though, and catches him on the fade through, leaving just Mur tucked up close at the doorway. He's being spotted and dispatched very quickly. tabseN eventually getting to yield the rewards of his flank that has been going on for most of this round.
prolonged flank, but effective in the end. 3 for Big. And now their challenger can throw down the gauntlet once more. All picked up, you know, you got money back in the bank. Magix has been so impressive in this series so far though, hasn't he? He's just a big performance on Dust 2. Huge changes in his playstyle as well. I mean, you brought it up earlier, the fact that he's much more aggressive now and finding a lot of impact. He's just got to find that consistency. See if he can deliver that across this tournament. To see more of him, he's got to pick up this map win, and Big are not going to make that easy whatsoever. Smooya in towards the connector, but it's a fast play from Midas Balance right through the smoke. Smooya couldn't quite see that one coming. He has stopped. An early advantage here for Team Spirit.
They're not taking mid control in the back of it though. You can see they immediately fell back, waiting for the refrags to come out. Taps and attempts it. Midas Balance is able to drop him quite quickly. And indeed, he disbalances everything. With a 2-man advantage now, things are not looking fair for Big at all as Tizian falls on the aggression through ramp, and it was needed. Someone had to push to try and figure out a little bit of information, but unfortunately, Magix has just been a pain in the side of all the A players, lurking out there every time that his teammates are taking the mid or B control. He's happy to just sit back and wait for a mistake to be made, punishing it time and time again. As big of a 2-man stack towards the B bomb side, Spirit of no read on this, running into the stack, running into the only 2 remaining players. It's a small chance for Big, but one that I'm sure they'll take.
Well, Xantera's headshot. Oh, can't get a multi-kill, but Nex is going to sit back in the market. Going through, Team Spirit will start to clear, and Nex has so much work to do, and some may say too much. Amir will finish him off. Team Spirit, good final executing towards the B bomb site. Big could not handle it. And so, moving into this next one, we will still see a buy from Big. Their money was floating very well. So a buy coming through again. Smooya on the op, the singular op. They're not going for the double op, which is something that they pull through quite a lot on Dust 2. They actually turned the tides quite a bit. You know, they started to find quite a bit of success off the back of those double ops. It's just Smooya rocking it in the next. And Midas Balance is starting to hit his shots as well. I feel like he's just been that consistent player for this side. We've seen him just hit shots time and time again, but we know he's capable of even more, which is why we're looking forward to seeing what he's capable of in the tournament. Smooya sitting up on top of the connector.
Xantera's up behind the smoke, hasn't spotted anyone just yet. Molly goes down, no one heard. Over towards the chair. Xantera's is going to be pushed on as soon as this smoke dissipates. He's got a nade in hand, lobs it a little bit too deep, and Smooya falls. Xantera's up behind the smoke, might not be known to be here as they took Smooya down, but never mind. They clear it anyways, with Tizian going after just one, good spacing for Chopper to find the kill immediately afterwards. And into a 3 versus 2, despite Tapson's frag, the bomb has gone down. Spirit have got the advantage, players in CT and Palace on the side itself. What can Big do as they move on forward? They've got to hope these duels are immediately connected.
Well, Tapson is up on top of the stairs, no one's head showing yet. He will get in for that there isn't one in Palace, but the peak from Magix is strong. Tapson dealt with. Now it's only Nex again, and I just do not envy him in these positions. There's literally no chance going into them. The Magix will drop him. A good performance from the youngster who is currently leaving his teammate hanging, but eventually will give him the fist bump that he deserves. 6-3, Team Spirit. They have got themselves into a little bit of their stride again. Big, we're looking good, but they're starting to crumble once more. You have to take a look at their money and sort of decide what they want to do. Most of the players have money except for Tizian, so they certainly can buy and let Tizian go down to a weaker weapon. But if they lose this one, they're going to be in a negative downfall for quite some time, and Team Spirit can probably just rack up these T round wins, and we know how strong they can be on this T side.
With the pause coming to an end, hopefully Big have discussed their strategy. In this round, though, I don't know how much we're going to be seeing from them. Tizian a 2K or 3K as we move into it. Still going to be a buy for Big, though. They decide to fully invest. Smooya's got an AWP. You can see that right there in his back. The Opper's staring deadpan into the camera as we're ready to roll. Big suffering on utility. This isn't the strongest buy we've ever seen, but they might just be able to put a fight to Spirit and stop them before their economy gets well out of control. Smoke towards the window early on gives Team Spirit that control to move on down. Midas Balance is just looking straight towards the connector to see if he can find anyone getting a little bit froggy, but no one moving just yet. The CT side holding nice and passive, waiting for Spirit to make a move. Spirit have been happy to run this clock down, though, before eventually moving out. Big have offered a lot of situations where one player has overextended and offered them a free kill. You see again, Magic sitting outside the A bomb site. I think it's Sumdai Young just outside B. Yeah, this is essentially the same round repeated by Team Spirit. They like to run into this default, but eventually they have to make a move, and with about 1 minute on the clock, it looks like it's going to be more aggressive mid, and presumably to A with Sumdai Young currently coming through underpass.
That's what they were looking for, that opening pick in towards the connector. Now this opens up so many options for them. One player can fall back and retrieve the bomb, and they can start to seize their opportunities. Re-smoke up into mid. There's still time to play with here on the T side as well. They haven't quite dealt with a short player in terms of Tabson, so they're going to have to try and deal with him, or he will deal with them. Push comes through, Tabson with the headshot. 4v4 again. Top smoke towards connector is fitted, but still Smooya grabs one. Idis Balance trades back immediately. That was so quick from Smooya to be able to get that kill. Thought for sure he was falling before he managed to rattle the shot off, but that is quick. And Tizian on the flank. Oh, this is perfect. Shot comes in from Idis Balance. He was in the ramp and they had no idea that Tizian was still there. Tabson with a great kill, and it's all on Mir in a 1v3, and he is stopped. Tabson gets it done. 4 on the board. Big will pick it up.
They're happy about that one. Finding a 4th on the board, and it's all about just slowing Team Spirit down, but the problem is it's not too easy to do when they've built up a little bit of cash. Another investment to come through from the terrorist side, and considering how they're handling this so far, it's not going to be a clean and easy road for Big. Easy streets far away, a couple of blocks from them. Early on, we're seeing a little bit of an adjustment now to what we're normally getting. A double op setup coming through from Big in the hands of Tabson and Smooya. This was a turning point when it came to Dust 2. The aggression from Sumdai Young this time, straight through the apartments, because he's got support coming over from Chopper, who was throwing the flashes from behind. They didn't play a factor in that, though, as Tabson just wasn't expecting him to be up that close.
No, there was a slight... The smoke was slightly off, so it was a slight position that Sumdai Young could abuse, and he does it so well, finding himself that opening pick for Team Spirit. Now they start to make their way in towards under. Smooya up on short, wants to be the player that can deliver impact for his team. He has been that player time and time again in this tournament so far. And if you think back to last year, Smooya also playing for Big here in Malta, showed up in a big way. Delivered. 55 seconds. Team Spirit wanting to bring that bomb over to A. Sending back in CT is currently Tizian. He's got reinforcements coming as well in the form of Xanteras, and that's not exactly what you want to be seeing if you're on Team Spirit, who are about to hit this A bomb site. Tizian, important kill, a second connecting in the connector, and what's the reply? Team Spirit have to go. They know the rotation will come through immediately, and things are about to get much more difficult, but Tizian continues to frag. A 3rd kill for him, and Xantera is alongside Smooya, sealing the deal.
A beautiful hold by Tizian towards the A bomb site, now securing that 5th on the board and closing in the distance even further with this one, because Spirit have got no money and a light investment should come through. I imagine Magix will be keeping the 3.2k, or at least a large chunk of it, to afford them an AWP in the future. And just look at this from Tizian, moving in for that 3rd kill. The Molotov forced them forward. Doesn't get much better than that. Glocks, all that we see coming through for Team Spirit. Not many teams lose to Glocks, although we did see it on Inferno earlier on.
Oh, well, that's a way to certainly start things off. 2 kills coming in from the Glocks, and Terra's doing his best to clean them up, and well, he is the cleaner, it seems, as he finds 3. Nex doing his best work, but this is already too far gone. I don't know why that even came so close. You lose way too many players to the Glocks. Big will just be happy of picking it up, though. Just go let it slide. You've got the round under your belt. But I think Team Spirit would be pretty happy about finding those 3 kills with absolutely 0 investment.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the money for Big after they invest fully into this. That could have been so much better than what we're looking at right now. But losing all those picks, it's a little bit demotivating. If you win the round, but really, you don't achieve nearly what you should have from it. Spirit now moving forward with a lot of momentum, not going into the default and playing it slow, but a straight rush on B. Smoke immediately down to block the molly.
This is just a quick play, a classic play from Team Spirit as they find the 2 openings immediately. And Big cannot hold on. Zentera is looking to do his best work, but the Molotov forces them away. And I think that's enough to slap them away from the site and force them to save their weapons. What a call from Team Spirit. So perfectly executed as well.
That's the kind of play you don't need attack pause for. Just straight rush B, and it works out. You can pull it out every now and then with a 7th on the board guaranteed for Team Spirit. This is Big, saving 3 weapons forward, and they need to. And why? Well, because they lost so many players in the previous round to all those Glocks. They can't afford to take risks, and certainly not in a 3v5 with very little damage done. Now for the next... They really need to save these weapons. I mean, playing exits at this point, yes, it would be nice to drop a couple of weapons off Spirit, but you're going to suffer far more than they are if you're losing one of these 3. The bomb explodes. Everybody on the CT side is far enough away that they're safe. Now, do you reinvest at this point? I mean, we're coming up to the final round. This is the second last.
Well, Hellkiss are, of course, one of our main sponsors. You could use the code ECC to head over there and get yourself a nice bonus over at Hellkiss. So, moving right back into this one. Round number 14, 7 on the board for Team Spirit. They're currently in the lead by 1. Big's economy just hanging on for dear life. And the skin of their teeth. And it's going to be a faster play up short from Smooya. And it's going to work. He catches up Mir at the edge of the smoke. Tizian aggression in towards ramp. He's been so solid on Mirage. And he continues to be the rock for Big. The bomb lies on the floor and the round is pretty much over.
30 seconds in, and you're in a position that's unlikely that you close it out. That's never nice.
And that was the exact thing that happened as well on the previous round, but on the opposite side for Big. You know, they got forced out 30 seconds in from the B rush, so at least they're trading back and forth.
CIS Counter-Strike. The first couple seconds are very pivotal. Not because of map controls, because that's where everyone dies. Nice shot, though, by Idis Balance as Tizian falls. Does he suspect another player to be up close, though? That's the question. He's checking towards the stairs now, moving in, slowly clearing it, but Zentaris is just a little bit too fast. Chopper in a 1 versus 4. We talked about him on the previous map being a solid player, but just 3 kills to his name in this. He needs to more than double that to take the 8th in favor of Spirit, and he cannot do it. Big take it. And that is 7-7, tied up with a potential 8th on the board for Big. The investment is going to be very shoddy from Spirit. They will not be happy with how this is developed for them. An AWP on Idis Balance, but then the weaknesses are going to start to show. Utility not there for Magic's Idis Balance or Mur for the most part. Just the smokes able to be pulled out.
Last round of the half. It's the call from Team Spirit. They've been very quick in their recent rounds, but this time going into a bit of a default stance, but a little bit more pressure in towards B due to the spawn that Idis Balance was given. He wanted to find this early peek if there is a player to jump for information, but Big wants a passive setup on the B bomb site. No one playing on top of the van. Now I'm going to go for a little bit of a boost here to see if Smooth can catch them off in case they move forward. Well, they're coming right in towards this crosshair. This could be perfect for Smooya. He gets the chance, the easy kill as well, and he's not going to fall off the angle. That's the expected play, right? You're expecting to take the 1 and fall away, but instead he stays up. Zentera's aggression in towards middle. It's not exactly needed, but he has backup from his teammates. He's already fully committed to it. Kill in towards the ladder pass with taps in. Zentera sees the run boost and gets both of them. Big are going to end this half ahead. It's only Magic's left, and it's a matter of time before Big topple him as well, surely. Only the Galil, no utility, and Big have just been much, much better in these recent rounds. Flash up in the air as well. Magic's blind. He's collected the first kill. He wants a little more, and he's got a second. Alright, Molotov coming in towards him, nearly a third, but Big will end the half ahead. Another close one, another 8-7, but it's time for a break. We'll see which team will be continuing their performance here in the tournament, and which team are going out. Well, a half that you can get so close is Big versus Spirit. They've done it again. The second map was the same here, and this second half is going to be the same on map number 3. We're looking forward to seeing what Big can do. They've stepped up their performances much better than the first map of the series, but again, there's so much on the line. Big's trying to stay alive in the tournament, Spirit doing the same. One of these teams will go home, unfortunately, but both deserve to stay because they've been playing so well, but only one can continue.
Spirit is certainly hoping things don't go the same as the second half of map 2, because they want to make sure Big lose this one.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can manage it. Starting out on the CT side in half number 2, it's going to be no armor for Chopper. The kit and the smoke taken over on the CT side as Big look to push with 2 players on full util. It's going to be an A hit. That's what they're lining up for just now. 2 players outside the A side, 3 top middle. They'll seize the control in mid using the utility that they have. Pushing onto the A side, hoping to drag the window player out, and indeed they do. Idis Balance now caught behind the smokes, and the mid players can come up behind and reap the rewards.
Well, Taps has a nade ready to go in towards CT, launching it through. Magix will pick up his head. And we're into a 3v5. 2-man advantage available for Team Spirit. Terra's making his way through with the clock close to Idis Balance, but they're going to run right into the brick wall. Idis Balance, a marksman inside of the jungle. Smooya with a headshot gets rid of him, and it will be a 2v4 with Magix just up on top of the ticket box. Shot from Nex. What the hell is that? That is clean from Nex. 2 headshots coming through, and he wants a little bit more. He'll head back towards Sandwich. I'll be looking for this pickup, but not exactly presenting itself just yet. 2v2, the bomb making its way in towards B, and Chopper was ready for it. He spots Smooya across, and now Smooya realizes he cannot just commit to the plant. There's a player watching this. Instead, he's going to leave B and go right back in towards the A bomb site. And Team Spirit, they'll soon realize they've been absolutely bamboozled, and Smooya's going to get that bomb plant through.
The rotate attempt, just like this, came through on Dust 2, but it took about 30 seconds longer, so it didn't quite work. This time, though, bomb planted, and they can even exit the site safely without anyone from Spirit having an angle. Time ticks away. Spirit move in. He's got to wait for Chopper to make his way through. No armor on Chopper, but low HP on Nex. These are little trade-offs that you make. They move on forward, steps being heard. Great flash comes through, but unfortunately it blinded Magix for a second. He finds his 3rd kill as Smooya goes out. Can't find the heads.
Well, Smooya just tapping through, looking for it. The defuser's coming in through the smoke, and Smooya cannot get it done. So close. Big shots coming through from Nex. And it's not enough in the end. The pistol will go in favor of Spirit, and that's well played in the retake. They do definitely have the flashbang coming through there. Magix immediately hits the headshot. A really nice retake coming through from Team Spirit, and that's going to put Big in a very scary situation now, because how many times have we seen them just lose the pistol by a few seconds?
Such a small margin for them. It's unfortunate, but now tied up 8-8. Spirit get a buyout with an SMG and 2 FAMAS in play. Big just lightly buying. They've got Deagles, but the next round is where they're looking to invest into it. After that bomb plant and obviously the loss bonus being up 1, you're going to feel very comfortable in round number 3, fighting all the way through. That's the important part. Obviously, in the previous half, we saw the 4 spies coming through when it came to round number 2, although it didn't work out for Big. A very slow approach. It's what you expect with these Deagles. You're going to find your angles, post up on them, and just wait for Spirit to peek. You don't have to worry about pushing for probably another 20 seconds or so, and then you'll start to really make some progress towards the bomb site and try to pick them off.
Chopper with a good kill on the FAMAS as they take mid-control Big. And the players on through. Tapson's going to be the front man. Magix just up on top of the ticket, just jump spotting. We'll see what is going on. 51 seconds left. Idis Balance looks to the lineup. First kill comes in a second as well, and he continued to spray in case there was a 3rd. Instead, the players coming up in towards short. And wow, what a shot from Nex. But he'll be dropped by Sumdai Young, and the last remaining player's position is known. Smooya up in Palace. He will do his best, but finished off as well. Magix gets rid of him. Team Spirit starting to find a little bit of success. It was an easier round to pick up, though, after winning the pistol. Wasn't too much of an investment from Big after their loss.
I'm wondering now where Big's mentality is going to be at if they lose this round. This is a very key turning point for me. Like, you've just saved up in the previous, now you're going on to rifles. Spirit will hit double digits and probably 11. depends. If it comes close, it's not that big of a deal. But if they get shut out here, I think then we're starting to look at a very demotivated big T side, not where they tend to put up the best of figures most of the time.
Well, we'll see if they can get it done. It's going to be the open hands of Smooth. Flash up in towards middle. Mir. It's going to be available on short if Some Young needs the help. He'll throw the Molotov. Actually a boost coming in to see if they can catch this short player off. Some Young won't be able to assist his teammates. So the flash comes over the top and Mir will take the kill on towards Tabson. Opening kill is in favor of Team Spirit, and it might just be a follow-up. This is not going so well for Big.
Losing too early on is never going to look like a solid move. As they move in through the apartments, Tizian's all alone. 2 players on mid going to try to come through short. There's still a lot of CTs to worry about, but no one that actually has an angle on this just yet. Magix has got an AUG down towards Ticket, but he's not peeking it. Playing very passive. Some Young falls to Zantares. Now we can start to move on forward. Up through short we go.
Mir just holding on, waiting for the round at the corner. It's going to be 1 kill coming in from Zantares. The follow-up is in from Smooya, and this is well recovered from Big. A round that was looking awful for them has been turned on its head, and now it's only Magix. He's got a gap in the smoke to play with, but he needs to seize this opportunity. They will not see him if he crosses out towards the right, because they're already on the left side of the bomb site. 1 player on bench in the apartments. He spots 1. He takes the headshot, but immediately traded by Smooya, and a round comes in for Big. They needed that one.
They really did. Like we said, it would be a key round to lose, just for the mental security it gives you finding that on the board. Now you're looking at Team Spirit with not a lot of cash, presumably double digits to be hit by Big. I don't know if they're going to invest anything really. They can't afford to for the most part. Idis balances quite a bit of cash, and Chopper as well, but saving up for 1, possibly even 2 AWPs, although that hasn't been Spirit's forte so far. To just play around Idis balances. The USP's grouped up towards B. It's going to be a very heavy stack if they push forward, and Tizian's caught completely off guard. Luckily, it's only a Mac 10 given over, but now Nex is under threat. Yeah,
Nex is under a lot of pressure. He needs to be careful. So he falls back into a different position. So where you have T-spawn.
They're chasing him.
But they are all coming. A Conga trade. Maybe of death, though, as Nex is ready to try and hold them off. They come over the top, 1 kill. He nearly gets a follow-up, but cannot do so. They overwhelm him from multiple different positions. Probably would have been better, actually, staying in the apartment. He would have been able to line them up. Of course, hindsight is 2020. The year is not yet.
Close, though.
It is indeed close.
I don't hear all the memes when that happens.
Well, Smooya looks towards the connector. Picking off the players, making his way up. My mistake in Big, certainly looking like they're in prime position to take it over. This retake feels like it's not even attempted, basically. Zantares just finishes off, Chopper inside the middle, and Some Young left inside of the kitchen. So it'll be 10 on the board. Big will find themselves double figures first. And that's a very impressive performance from them to grab double figures, especially with the start of the second half not looking so great from them. They do well to recover.
That's for sure. Big have had those shaky beginnings, but always solid finishes when it came through to the 2 maps so far today.
Yeah.
So as we get towards the end of this map, this is where we start to maybe look a bit more favorably towards them. Zantares has started to step it up. We're seeing a much better performance there, but Tabson actually dropping the ball a little bit compared to what we're used to.
Tabson's one of the players that I want to see more of, but I asked him, obviously in the interview earlier, has the in-game leadership taken a hit in your individual performance? He says, yeah, of course, he feels it, and it's just a fact. And in these closer games, that's where you're going to see it come through a lot more, because he's really having to focus on getting the team to work well. So that's where you have to rely a little bit more on Smooya and Zantares. And the fact that Nex is also playing well is an added bonus. And Tizian on that first half was playing like a beast.
He had some solid holds towards the A-bomb side, that's for sure. Talking about the A side, Tabson was just taking a look up there with 3 players in his vision if that smoke wasn't in play.
Oh. See, this is the type of aggression I love seeing out of Team Spirit. Idis Balance sees that there's no action on towards B, so he sees how far he can go. He holds in the apartments and waits for someone from Big to turn up, and eventually they do. Tabson manages 1 kill. Lucky the smoke was still up, because he was going to die very quickly to Some Young. The Mac 10 will get the frag anyway, and the advantage will still side with Team Spirit. And it's all thanks to this man on your screen to find that opening for Team Spirit. And he looks for more. He's hungry for it, but not landing. Instead, he's going to take damage and has to rely instead on his teammate, who is playing from Get Right.
Getting naded. It's 50 HP taken off the AWPer, but nice shot by Nex. He's found out there's a player on the site, and there's one in kitchen. Smee has all the information to work with, but can't get the shots to land. Spirit on a 10th. And this is just back and forth we go.
Yeah.
Both teams giving it their all, so close to elimination. Loser of this map gets knocked out.
Yeah, what a game it is. Tit for tat. They've had to pull a comeback. It was certainly looking like in that first map that Team Spirit were going to be the team to just run away with it. But Big have shown grit, tenacity to stay alive in this series. 10-10. Scoreline even again, but this is certainly looking much, much better for Team Spirit in round number 21. Their buy is significantly stronger. Big will see what they can do with a few pistols. They left money in the reserve so they can buy into the next, but this round hope to do some damage to force a couple of rebuys if possible, but it's not happening. The kills continue to just rain in as Idis Balance frikes away. Smooth eventually takes his head off, but this round is over already. 2v4. Hold is too strong from Team Spirit. It's going to take a monumental effort from Big just to get anywhere near the bomb site, and Team Spirit will seal it. 11-10. Now the real problem begins for Team Spirit. They've got the buy coming in from Big, most likely, actually. See what they decide to do, because Nex is still pretty low on cash. They could go for another half buy here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it at this point, to be honest. I'd swing in favor of that, but they've decided to invest. Okay, 2 Galils coming through, pistols and armor. It's not terrible. If you get a bomb plant here, you're sorted for the next round, and you've got a very good chance of moving through and finding some duels as you do. Galils are perfectly viable weapons.
That's the thing, right? These Galils are so cheap, $1,800 to pick up, so you can really use them in this sort of scenario. And Tabson charging, no time wasted, but he doesn't get the kill. The thing comes through, and Young turns and finds the frag. Tizian is able to avenge his in-game leader. As Mir stands in jungle, it's one for Magix. Mir able to pick up another. Tizian alone, 1v4, and while the fast play came through from Big, it didn't really result in too much. But now, it is a proper buy coming in from Big. They can't let it go any further. If they let this one slip at this point of the match, it would be absolutely heartbreaking, and it would shatter their mentality.
And that's why the pause comes through, a very important round coming up. You can't allow Spirit to propel themselves any further forward at this point, and you can see the conversation going down on how they're going to be approaching this. They're on the terrorist side. They're going to be investing in, by the looks of things, with Smuya already having an AWP. The money is between 3.5 and 5.3k. That allows them to get AKs out at a very minimum, and potentially then you can also lean towards the a secondary AWP, but on the T side I find that unlikely. Big don't do that all too often, especially not on a map like Mirage. But next, he goes down to a Galil. He didn't really have the cash to invest fully into that. Grab an AK, not possible. I guess it's some utilities to support it as well.
Well, 12-10. 4 away from victory, Team Spirit. Big need to post one here on the board. It's a fast play up middle. Aggression certainly coming through. They're playing anti-flash, but they were not ready for the amount of flashes that Big are throwing at them. Wow, so many. And Tabson eventually will get one, so Terrorist gets a flash assist. Mir trading back, shot lands from Idis Balance, but it's not death. That nade might seal the deal though, onto Smooya, and indeed it will! Oh my god, so quick to get the shot off, but it's not the kill. It is not enough damage to be lethal. Instead, they're stepping up. The rest of Team Spirit finding it easy to hold on, and this is where Big start to crumble. When they're losing rounds where they should be picking up or should be competing slightly better in, when you're getting nowhere near winning them, you have to try and focus up.
That's a really disappointing round for Big. They invested so much into it that now they're going to be on a weaker buy, if a buy at all, leaving Team Spirit to potentially connect that 14th. The damage that was done by Idis Balance was unquestionable. Finding the kill with the nade, then managing to flick onto the legs of, I think it was Xantaras, making him a very easy kill for the A1S a little bit later on. Spirit have played really well around that, and they're calling attack pause here, which is interesting. They want to be very sure that they're able to connect that 15th round.
A small talking point that you can perhaps talk more about is the fact that Tabson's a very emotional player, right? So when we see him have these big performances, he gets fired up and he's ready to go. He has obviously had to curb that slightly in terms of when he's losing, because of his being the in-game leader of a team, you can't exactly be that style of player. But in a way, now that he has had some frustrating rounds where he's perhaps should be picking up kills with the P250, he gets the dink, he gets turned around, that is going to play on your mind as a player, no matter who you are, right? And the annoying part is for Big, that's their in-game leader, so Tabson has to have a strong mind coming into this, and I'm sure he will. Big need to find success. This round definitely not expected to run in too much success in, but they'll try anyway as they run in towards the A-bomb site. Flash up, Sumdai Young looking to see what he can do. It's Magic's actually who picks up the kill towards next first, and running through the smoke, Santeros will try his best, but the denial of the bomb plant is in from the young star. And while Tizian strikes with 2 kills, that's still not enough.
Not at all. Especially not with the nade coming in.
Yeah.
It was in a 1v3 either way, so I don't think it was going to really work out. Now for Team Spirit, this is the final hurdle. If they win this round, it's GG's. I mean, even though that would only be the 15th, I mean, Big don't have a lot of cash. This is it, full investment.
Yep.
All on red. Let's see if it works out. Can they draw the blood of Spirit?
Well, Big realize this is such an important round. Lose this, and they likely are eliminated from the series. Technical pause actually coming in, so no more speaking allowed from the players, but this does give them time to sort of take a chill, sit back in their seats, looking over a bit, because when we are positioned in the arena is actually quite good for us. For us, we can watch the players and the teams, and I've seen a lot of talking from Toby on towards Tabson during the pauses. He's definitely been very vocal, and I'm sure that he is a guy that can really help with the mentality of the team. He's one of those guys that has a lot of experience, a lot of life experience as well, to get these guys calm and have a good mindset moving forward. And Big are certainly going to need that, as currently Team Spirit are in the driving seat.
Yeah, they've got all the control to work with, and to me, Big are not a team that can come back all too convincingly, despite what they showed us on Dust 2. I wouldn't expect it on a consistent level. We saw D2, it was Xantares just stepping up on a whole nother level when it came to the end of the games. Hopefully we'll see that again. Combine that with how Next has been playing Nuke, but there's a lot of win conditions starting to line up for Big to recover from this deficit.
Yeah, it still wasn't even enough when Xantares stepped up on Dust 2.
Exactly.
So on Nuke, when they were ahead and Xantares started to step up, it was very... It obviously was another thing added on to that team that could bring them over the line. The impressive part will be if they can come from behind and have that performance elevate. But we are right back into things. 14-10 is the current score on the door, and it's a quick play from Big. All 5 players in towards middle. They want to seize control of this quickly. Nothing coming through from Team Spirit just yet. Eventually the utility starts to rain through towards the bottom of Connector. It only connects on the Tabson, and it doesn't really do a whole lot.
This is do or die for Big. If they don't win this round, it's GG's in chat, as it'll be a very hard one. They'll have to compete for overtime with not all too great of a buy. For Spirit now, setting up over towards the A side quite heavily, but a quick rotation from Mur once the utility usage comes in on B. Nice deep nade by Chopper. Very little damage done on the back of it, though. Mur has to hold this down as they push short.
Oh, the lineup. He nearly gets 2 kills. He does so much damage onto the second as Chopper backing him up, but he's overrun. Tizian manages 1, but it's not enough. Again, Big will crumble. Map and series point for Team Spirit, and the money is gone on Big. This is a huge problem moving forward for this roster. They will be able to buy, but it's not going to have everything. They won't have the rifles on 2 players, and if they do, it's going to be Galils. They might have to go with SMGs. This is not looking so great for Big at all. And if they manage to pull this off, it would be one of the comebacks of the year, really, because this would be unbelievable.
Versus how Spirit are playing right now, it absolutely would. Big moving towards middle control with early preference to A. 2 players outside of it on the ramp. Happy to throw their smokes over in just a little bit as Big look for mid control. Good deep nade coming through from Spirit. Sumdai Young goes down and clears underpass. Nobody shown there early on, and back up Connector he goes. 4 players towards the A-bomb site. With Chopper rotating around, a very aggressive position. And this is one of the benefits of having Idis Balance, who's confident pushing up in apps. He's holding the pixel angle to make sure they're not coming there. It buys so much time and so much info for Spirit as they move towards the A-bomb site. Big are running straight into 4 players. It's their last chance to bring it to an overtime. They need 5 in a row. It starts here, and up close is Sumdai Young. A great flash!
Well, Tabson manages the opening. Still in it Big. 1 minute and 5 seconds. Magix, he's been stellar so far for the team, but he looks away at the wrong time. And Tabson is delivering. Mir spotted as well by Nex. And it's not over. Idis Balance and Chopper in a 2v5. Big, they muster what looks like a round win, but it's still doable for Chopper. We've seen him pull off the impossible earlier on, and well, this time he'll be stopped by Xantares. It's all in Idis Balance. When they're up against the ropes, Big are doing good work. Idis Balance caught, and a clean round win from Big.
Smooya was... Actually, he did get it. He got the AWP in the end off the corpse, using his movement to jump up through to short. Now 15 to 11. Big have succeeded in the first of 5 rounds, but there's still 4 more to go, folks. And with Team Spirit's money built up, they're not going to be all too easy. Straight away, the weaponry comes out for the CT side, and they can compete for that win once again. There's 2 more buy rounds after this, 1 buy, 1 half, between Big and a victory, or and an OT rather.
Smoke on towards short. Oh, Tabson. He was so impactful in delivering the opening kills in the previous. He looks to do the same again. He's going to